This is Terrence Andre Banks with Information Age Financial Solutions, coming to you with an incredible article I read from CNN Business, and explains a lot about what is going on for small business. And small business is the lifeblood of the economy. They employ so many different individuals, and being in that position before and functioning because of the different space, you get to see a little bit more of their stories and understand from that perspective. This definitely is one to worth paying attention to. I'm going to put the link inside the description. It's got a good video here too. We might play a few excerpts from that just to hear a little bit of video in here from the reporter who did it. I'm going to start diving right in. One block in America, 6 businesses on the brink of disaster. Los Angeles, as of 2019, there were estimated 30.7 million small businesses in the United States, employing 59.9 million people, almost half of the private sector workforce. Small businesses drive the American economy, but as the coronavirus pandemic has proven, they do so from a cliff. Many are about to fall off. Behind those numbers are the actual people who own work at the small business. It's impossible to tell all of their stories, but we can tell some. So last week we talked to the owners of 6 small businesses on a block of Colorado Boulevard in Los Angeles about their hopes and fears right now. The block and its business are very much unique, made up of a group of independently owned stores in the heart of a gentrifying community in eastern Los Angeles. But you can transplant them anywhere in the country, any town, any large city, and the stories will be much the same. This is very true. Most of the business owners on the block are women, and many are minorities, reflecting a growing trend in the United States. They went into what they do with a leap of faith and a lot of financial risk. Now they're on the brink of ruin. Money may be coming from Washington in the next few weeks. They may not make it that long. Below are the stories as they told them. Quotes have been edited for length and clarity. So they start off with Valerie Brown, owner of Eagle Community, acupuncture over since 2009. I wanted to find a place where I could foresee there being foot traffic. Colorado Boulevard is great. I signed a lease in 2008. Both these financial times were and are gloomy, that's for sure. I didn't have as much stake back then. I was moving to a situation where I thought, things are going to be better, or going to get better. Now I'm in a situation where things were fine, and now they're getting worse. Interesting. I'm very attached to my community. When I go into Trader Joe's, I know people. The business has been around for so long, we remember each other. I miss the connection. I feel for all of us shopkeepers. If I know that we're going to be back in business up and running by May, I think I have enough to get by. If it takes until June, I still think I could do it, but I'll be awfully nervous if it doesn't look like we can go back by June. I think I'm going to have to seize this business model because it's just not going to be viable. I sure hope to be eating in restaurants, going to movies, getting community acupuncture. It will be heartbreaking because all the connections I made, and the patients mean a lot to me, and the community means a lot to me. I hope that California will find a way to lineate with the small business and perhaps give us back some of the money that we've been paid in order to be in the business in the year 2020. We need abatement on the rent to have to pay rent when we can't work. We'll be drowning in a lot of debt. So far, what I've heard, the stimulus packages are probably going to benefit big industries most, probably hotels, airlines, things like that. Something funny I heard recently was, the small business owners received the stimulus, and Wall Street had to set up a GoFundMe account instead of being always in reserve. I'm just not that optimistic. That something would help small business and not give the big handouts to people who need it. And that's a growing concern from a lot of small business owners. It's always a financial risk, always a leap of faith to own your own small businesses. Going from Samara Cogney, on a Purple Twig, a children's art studio, open since 2009. It's always a financial business. I started very small. I ran a storefront, did the minimum to get the space ready and open up. I hope parents would drop their kids off to make art, and they did. They grew it from there. When I moved out there, it was a peekaboo, a children's indoor play place, and last year's Colorado Boulevard has grown to a place the community desires. A lot of businesses are owned by women. The community has been welcoming. They all had identity, each storefront. All had passion, all believe what they're doing. The situation is very overwhelming. That's the best word I can use to describe it. We're all going through it. I don't feel like, poor me. I'm trying to focus on creative thinking. I'm offering subscriptions for children ages 5 to adults. It seems more important than ever than to express yourself. I'm also fortunate much of my income comes from summer camp. As long as they register, I have income. If this goes on through the summer, I will have to close. That would be such a shame. I'm kind of dive a little bit to right here to play a little bit of the video. I think that does a good job too.
into watching something grow. And then it stopped suddenly. I was sitting on the floor, just sobbing.
Jen Yates and Alex Hartunian own fitness center Studio Metamorphosis.
Scrounged every single dollar, every penny to open. And we did it.
Now the video's breaking up a little bit here.
How are we going to survive with, like, we're going to wake up the next morning and have zero income? Like, how does that work, you know?
Small businesses like Studio Metamorphosis are due to receive close to the $400 billion earmarked in the $2 trillion government stimulus plan.
Good. That's Melissa. Excellent form.
But as business owners wait for that financial relief,
Good job, Pam. She's doing it. Sounds great.
they're trying to stay connected to customers. Yates holding free virtual workout classes, making no money.
Sorry.
While at Michelle Helseth's store, Native Boutique,
Over to my account. I have payroll today.
speed for this aid is key to her survival.
I'm concerned with getting dug deeper into a hole, more debt. It's like, oh, I had a great opportunity to stay open, to be in more debt. We need grants, not just loans.
Emergency grants and loan forgiveness are a part of the stimulus package. So is a payroll tax credit and a pause on existing small business loans.
Hello again.
Welcome news to Bloom School of Music and Dance. That's moved to all virtual lessons, proving to be successful so far. But with a large payroll and high rent, owner Laura Porter worries how long this package will sustain Main Street, with weeks or months ahead of fighting the outbreak, and what this block will look like at the end.
It's so frightening because it's a day-by-day thing. You know, I can't even look at September.
What is it that you would like your leaders in this country to hear from you?
They have to listen to the average American out of work. You know, and small businesses are a big part of that.
It definitely goes out as this thing continues to transform the way everything is going these days. You just get to hear a different excerpt of what it is and how we're living through it. But small business owners, again, are the lifeblood of the American economy, the lifeblood of it, and when you see different things like this, it should show you that with the times that we're living in, and then what's going to come on after that. So I kind of only read partial of the article, but it's worth your time, worth your attention, just to hear the different stories. And if you find yourself in a situation like that, it's just looking at what things could be done differently and how to transform from that. If this video has been any value to you, please subscribe. Be safe out there. Until my next video.
Oh yeah. She's one